Now, today's top stories and Power of 5 weather from News 5, sponsored by Akron Children's Hospital.
Now here's a look at today's top stories. It's another step in the reopening of Ohio. Here's a quick list of things reopening: pools, fitness centers, yoga studios and dance studios, non-contact and limited contact sports leagues, conditioning and skills training, bowling alleys, mini golf centers, and BMV offices. Child care, catering, and wedding receptions are up next. All industries have their own set of safety protocols, but there are three things that they all have in common: keeping 6 feet of distance between people, masks for employees when feasible, and frequent hand washing and cleansing. The biggest thing to keep in mind as a customer, because of social distancing, many businesses are going to have to keep an eye on their capacity limits, which means you may not be able to go in right away. The state says this is all a learning process, and by the time we round out this week, 95% of our state's economy will be back up and running. Governor DeWine says he will be closely monitoring our case numbers and ask people to continue to stay home as much as they can. People are lining up outside area BMVs 6 feet apart today, but just because the BMV is open doesn't mean you need to rush in. There are a lot of services you can take care of online without stepping foot in an office, and that includes renewing registration, scheduling an exam, and getting a suspended license reinstated. If you absolutely have to go into a physical location, check online to make sure it's open, but be aware, if you miss a deadline, there is a grace period. Lordstown Motor is making its plans for life after the pandemic. They plan to hire 600 new workers next year to start building a line of all-electric pickups. Then by 2022, the hope is to hire even more workers to start building other all-electric vehicles. The CEO of Lordstown Motors tells the Detroit Free Press he expects to have up to 5,000 people working in the plant in the near future, based on the demand for electric vehicles. So far, he says they've already received thousands of pre-orders for the first line of pickups. Golf courses have allowed people a place to get outside and play, but operations also have to adjust to the social distancing era. Courses have safety precautions in place, like no ball washers and no rakes in the sand. There's a foam pool noodle ring in the cup, for touchless ball retrieval from the hole. And while the measures may seem like a headache, there is one change that has actually benefited your game. Keeping one golfer to a cart has picked up the pace of play. It leaves less time to chit-chat in between shots. All right, Brian, let's get a check on this hot weather today.
Yeah, it's going to be another hot and humid one. We could be at least matching or maybe even breaking records. Mostly sunny skies. So if you do go out golfing today, you need to stay hydrated, need the sunscreen. We have to get back into that summer-like mindset. It has been mainly dry here over the past 24 hours. There isn't much to show you in terms of cloud cover. Temperatures in the mid to low 80s for us right now. A couple of us are in the upper 70s right now. Temperatures are going to continue to be warm for the next couple of days. Upper 80s for our highs today, getting close to 90 degrees. I wouldn't be surprised at all if a couple of spots reach that 90-degree mark. 89 is the number to beat for Cleveland for today. That was set back in 1914. If we see an isolated pop-up rain shower or storm, it would be in the late afternoon and evening, much like yesterday, but it looks like there's a little bit of a lesser chance today than what we had yesterday for that. Any rain and storm chances would really diminish pretty quickly for us later on this evening after sunset. And you see those temperatures are going to stay very warm. At 10 o'clock, we're still in the upper 70s. Lows tonight only dropping down into the mid to upper 60s.
Sponsored by Akron Children's Hospital.